Hello, I'm Uncle Vale. This is my channel, Uncle Vale Sports, which is where I do, hopefully get everything set up right. Talk about sports. And today, I think I'm gonna do something that I've been wanting to do for a long time on my main channel, Uncle Vale, my Uncle Vale channel. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Obviously, I'm a Dolphins fan, and I've been wanting to tell the story of like how I became a Dolphins fan. Which, to be fair, might not be the most, how do you say, interesting, but I think it's kind of interesting, in my opinion. But only way to really get started on that is by, opening the book and getting started on how I became a Dolphins fan. If I had a budget, I would did zoom in. I don't have a budget. Cool book. Shit in it. With Dolphins shit in it. Collected from like 40 years of things before I was born. It started when I was born. October 13th, 1995. It was a Friday the 13th at night. Oh god, low budget lightning strikes. No, terrifying. I was born on a Friday the 13th to arguably the worst fan base in the world, Dallas Cowboys fans, which was really bad, as you might say. You might think, yes, they're Friday the 13th, Cowboys fans. How the fuck do you become a Dolphins fan? Well, for the first 6 years of my life, I was raised to be a Cowboys fan. Shocking, I know. Two parents who are Cowboys fans want you to be a Cowboys fan. But it didn't last very long. So happens because my uncle, my late uncle, he passed away about 15 years ago now. He's the one that's always been in some of my video or background of my videos. When I did Dolphins content on my main channel, this is him. That's not me. That is my cousin Sam. She sometimes is on the stream as well. But if it wasn't for him coming in and being like, "Hey, the Cowboys suck, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, the Cowboys really suck. You should be a Dolphins fan. Why? The Dolphins are the greatest football team. The greatest. The only undefeated team. They had great players. Zonka, Larry Little. You had Mercury Morris, Dan Marino, Don Shula, the greatest coach of all time. You should be that fan." Shows me a picture of a dolphin. The classic dolphin logo. And I thought, I like dolphins. Dolphins are cool. Dolphins are smart. I'm a 6-year-old. I already knew dolphins were smarter than me because I was a stupid 6-year-old with ADHD, and coming off of like sugar comas because again, child, and being, kicked out of most churches in the town I lived in because, Friday the 13th, crackhead ADHD baby. No one wants that. So he shows me that stuff. He goes through. He shows me some of the videos he collected, some of the VHS tapes he's had, the trading cards, and his book. This is his. It's fantastic. It's awesome. We had all these cool things and going to the games and pictures and signed things, placards and tickets and photographs and newspaper clippings and explaining to me how the Cowboys are a cool team. They're good. They were a 90s team. But if I really want to be a fan of football, follow the Dolphins. Follow me. So I followed him. I really did. For a good portion of my life. About another 6 years. Because by that point in time, by the time I turned about 12 myself, he unfortunately passed away from alcohol addiction. By that point in time, I had a nice pair of vintage Reeboks that are now vintage. Vintage Reebok. Can't say vintage. Vintage Reebok sneakers that had Miami Dolphins on it. I had jerseys. I had the sneakers. I had the socks. I had the hats. I had all sorts of cool things. That, to be fair, I grew out of and I destroyed because I was a freaking crackhead Friday the 13th ADHD baby. Okay, I'm sorry. He eventually passed away, leaving me a bit distraught. But he did leave me with things. He left me with the fandom. He left me with Dolphins memorabilia. He left me with his book that I'm still putting things in. He left me with a helmet that was signed by who? I do not know because it's so faded and ashtray smell and colored because he uses an ashtray that I don't know. He left me books and magazines and the Zach Thomas jersey right behind me and several other items. He came to me seeing that his brother was leading me astray to be a Cowboys fan. Which, based on my hair, and some of the other things I have on my main channel, probably would have fit. But he led me astray of that life, and brought me to this great fandom, this great team that might not be very great right now or great since 2001, kind of been pretty shit for the last 25 years, but that's besides the point. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be a Dolphins fan. He came in, brought in enthusiasm, brought in fandom, taught me things about football that my father didn't even teach me about. Taught me about how the players themselves, make sure to remember their names. Don't care too much about the stats, but care about the stats, obviously. Find out more about them. Collect the memorabilia and the items. Get new jerseys and hoodies and hats whenever you get a chance. Go out of your way and collect the sneakers if you can. Collect the cards. Go to the games. He was one of the reasons that I was excited to go to my first game for. Because before he passed away, he promised to take me to a game with him. I never got that chance, unfortunately. But a good decade after he passed away, I finally got to go to my first game and experience the Dolphins football. It was obviously a loss. We lost the game, but that's besides the point. It was still the point that I went and enjoyed it. I was able to experience the Dolphins, and everything he said was true. The fans were good. The game was good. The players were awesome. The atmosphere around me in that fandom was good. And I liked that. I think if I didn't have my uncle do this for me, if I didn't have my uncle get out of his way, be like, no, you can't be a Cowboys fan like your father. Screw your father. I'm the cool uncle. Come be a Dolphins fan with me. I would probably not be into football as I am today. I probably would not care. Yeah, I also went through the most roughest and crappiest Dolphins teams to ever exist, but I think that's better than going through and being a Cowgirls fan. And I think I'm going to end with that. It's very off the wall, back and forth, round and round thing. A bit silly here and there, and the lightning and the book and then low budget, but I liked it. Like I said, it wasn't a very complex story. I was a young kid. My uncle came and brought joy of football, joy of a franchise with history, a wide, massive, long-running history of success and greatness, and brought me away from the clutches of evil with Jerry World and the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that in itself is a good story. Regardless of how bad I am at storytelling, to be very fair, and regardless of the fact that I have nothing written down, it's a good story. That's how I became a Dolphins fan. Thank you.